Once again, we're doing a cold open here at Heat Soaked because we don't do warm ups because we are what? Heat soaked.
Cold soaked.
Cue the Eurobeat. Dun, 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 dun. No, this is how Initial D changed our lives. Guys, welcome back to Heat Soaked. This is another episode here about the car culture back in the 90s over here to the 2000s. Remember, this late night CRT glows engine noises through these mountain passes at Mount Akina. This is how we're starting it. Welcome to Heat Soaked, guys. If you haven't been here before, my name is Chris. This is KT. We're enjoying the time here, BSing about our favorite cars and our favorite times back in the 90s.
And our favorite anime.
And our favorite animes. Initial D is one of them. Loving it, man. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I don't know.
Well, for people who do not know what Initial D is, let's just give them a little bit of an overview.
Oh, man. Initial D is, man, the first episode. It's the first hit. It's the anime that turned my curiosity about cars into this lifelong passion. It rewired me how like speed, discipline, and obsession about cars should all go in it, man. The focus was, of course, the infamous AE86 Sprint Terreno or Fujiwara Tofu Shop. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, for y'all who don't know, it is an anime, like Chris said. It came out in the 90s and it ran a couple seasons. I think it stopped around the mid 2000s.
Yes, stopped around the 2000s, but then came back with another one. So there's a new Initial D out featuring the most hated. Sorry, guys, I am a hater. The GR86,
Yeah.
but that doesn't matter because we remember the good times of Initial D. We
Yeah.
remember the fantastic times. Go for it.
So it's a car anime. It's for the car guys out there, and it's about drifting. And it's when you look at it, it's about growth too, right?
Absolutely, it is.
So Fujiwara, his growth, just let's get into it. So he started out just driving
For sure.
an AE86,
So
a Trueno.
opening scene. It's the old school blinker sounds of an AE86. It's a car warming up in the middle of the night. It's a guy loading a box into the back of this Toyota, and it's
And
this
what was he
kid.
doing with that box?
There was delivering tofu, man, and there was a tofu shop
Up and down a mountain pass.
and he had to deliver to the restaurants up and down the mountain pass. So the next scenes we start seeing is him flying through the mountains, and we don't know kind of what speed he's doing. This is first episode, right? He's doing tofu deliveries. It's turning out there's just execution. He's just driving. He looks really bored. He's just enjoying it. And then you look at the speedometer and he's doing like 60 through these mountain passes. And you're like, wait a second, something's off about this. And then you see him do his first turn and the magic begins.
Mm. Well, let's take it a step back. He was driving an AE86, a Sprinter Trueno to
Correct.
be specific.
Yes.
But let's get into it. Look, what is this car? Give me some info about it.
Oh man, the AE86, the Toyota Corolla Sprinter Trueno. This is before the Corolla name came back. This is Takumi Fujiwara, the son of the Fujiwara Tofu Shop owner. It's an 83 to 85 Sprinter Trueno, man. It was a 1.6 liter 16 valve blue top. It was a first generation 4A GE, around 112 to about 120 maybe horsepower. It was an FR layout, so it was a rear wheel drive with a 5-speed, and this thing just, we didn't know it yet, but it ripped.
Yeah, and the one defining characteristic related to that was like it was just a really lightweight car.
100, yeah,
And
absolutely
it's different than nowadays, right? That car is probably 1,000 pounds less, almost 1,500 pounds less than modern day sports cars.
Absolutely. It was just a frame, a rear-wheel drive, and a motor. The motor is probably the heaviest thing on that car. You remove that, and the transmission, you could probably easily roll that thing one person uphill. Like
Yeah.
that thing was super light. So just the opening scene, seeing this, you're like, oh, come on, this isn't really nothing crazy, right? It's just a car, it's just driving. And then, we see these crazy, crazy interactions of him passing through, and it's just it's magical. It's a
And that
magical moment.
car is iconic. It's everywhere. It's in video games, it's on
Absolutely.
clothes, it's on posters, magazines. Honestly, anytime you see an actual Trueno in real life, 95% of the time it's a black and white panda, and it has
Yep, it's a
the
panda
Fujiwara
trainer.
tofu.
Absolutely, the ghost
Like,
of Mount
yeah,
Akina. Like
it has
it's
the lettering on the side of it.
like people put Fujiwara Tofu Shop on the side of their GR86s just because of this anime. And let me tell you, they're wrapping it, they're doing all this crazy stuff, but this is how it changed our lives, right? We're talking about the cars in it, how it introduced us to the different ones. I mean, what are some cars what were your favorite ones from this guy? Like what are some ones that stuck out to you that to this day is like stuff you would pick up anytime?
Honestly, this is the most iconic of them all. And Initial D had so many other cars, and we will get into it, but I just can't leave this topic just yet. This was iconic, and part of it was because it was just a Corolla, right?
Correct,
It was like
correct.
it's like a nothing car. It was 2 doors,
Mhm.
hatchback. I mean, it didn't look sexy at all. It was super boxy.
Well,
It has a 1.6 liter, barely putting out 100 horsepower.
yep.
So the anime itself really talked up the Trueno. It
Yeah,
hyped it up big
it
time.
did. It really did. And it was one of those things where like in the opening scene, we don't realize that this car does this crazy stuff. Like we're just learning about it. He does the run and we know nothing about it. And then later on in the anime, as we're kind of reviewing it, this car turns into this unicorn.
Hmm.
And it's all of the development of the driver and all of the development of the races he does. But it really taught us it's not about the car, it's about the driver. It's about the
Yes.
accuracy. It's about everything that goes into the hard work it's an accidental prodigy born from routine, from
It could have been any car, you're saying.
absolutely. It shows that doing something every day
Yes.
turns normal people elite.
And
That's what it does.
Takumi, he was driving up and down that mountain pass since the age of 13, and the anime kind of flashed forward to him being a high schooler, probably 18, 17,
Mm-hmm.
19.
Mm-hmm.
So he was up and down that mountain pass every single day delivering tofu for what, 5
For
years?
yeah,
He
fine.
developed that skill set. But it could have been any car, right? But
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, they decided to use the AE86. Maybe we should look into that. That's actually I would love to know why they
Yeah,
decided to use that.
I don't
But
know. That's a great question. Like, why an AE86? You could have chosen any other car from that time. A 300 ZX was coming out in the next
mhm,
few years after that. But I think regardless of the car they chose, it taught that mastery came from repetition, not money. Like it made learning lines and weight transfer, throttle control was
mhm.
an ideal thing in that. And I don't know, man. All I know is that if they never chose the AE86, would we be where we're at today?
We wouldn't
Would
be
Initial
talking
D
about it.
have
Yeah.
changed my life with this?
They took that car to icon
Oh,
status now.
absolutely. Like imagine if an anime or a show takes a car from there, like people would start buying it like crazy, but it's sought after to this
Oh,
day.
yeah, they're very hard to find.
Yeah,
If you do find one in the wild, they're mad expensive.
absolutely.
And again, they're not sexy at all, honestly.
Well, some people found it pretty sexy. Those pop up and down headlights. So you have that stuff. You have that going for you. What was the other version of the A86 you
The
found?
11.
The 11 that had the boxy headlights up front, right? It was a
Mhm.
different kind. It was underrated, underpowered compared to, right? And we start learning all these little details about Takumi and his dad. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Bunta.
Bunta.
Ye
Yeah, yeah. And we learned all about Bunta and how he was. You start learning in this anime how he was this like this racer and how the legend of the 86 starts to pop up, and you start learning little things about this car, that what it's done, and you see, funny scenes of, with the gas station attendant, or gas station owner,
Mhm.
Boone's friend, ride with him and go crazy when his eyes open and go from there. And it's the first drive that Takumi takes his buddy on, and that's that you start seeing exactly how crazy this guy drives, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I
so
I love it, and how does it relate to today? Well, they're all over drift scenes. They're still in drift scenes today. In real life drift scenes, you will see AE86s out there drifting. Now,
absolutely.
they probably aren't using a 1.6 liter anymore, but, the fact still remains, like, this is a popular car till this day, and Initial D really did it.
Well, and here's why I think it was chosen, right? Like, if you remember, the Hachiroku, or the 86, in English, is a legendary drift car. It was, like you said, lightweight, rear wheel drive layout. It had a balanced chassis, it was affordable. Someone could purchase it, kind of like we can purchase something simple now on that. But remember, it was drifted by Keiichi Tsuchiya over
Mm,
there, and he was actually drifting this in real life
okay.
before this came out. So this was probably why it was chosen. Now that in my memory of it, Keiichi was a legend,
Yeah.
and still to this day, people like search all over for all the videos, everything that he was doing. But AE86s, man, became the drifting car
Yeah.
after this. So I mean, watching this changed our lives for good because of all the cars we noticed in it. So I think, starting with that car specifically,
Oh,
man, the
yeah.
AE86 is you're right. It's a unicorn. It's legendary. It's got everything needed. And first time I personally, well, not personally, but on a show, watched a motor swap.
Mm, yeah.
First time ever,
They
right?
did a lot. They did a
So
lot on that show. If you're a car guy or a girl, definitely check it out.
oh yeah, listen, if you haven't watched Initial D and you love cars, even if you don't like anime, just check it out. Like, just give it a chance, and it might surprise you. All right, this is us, kind of fighting for anime here. But I'll tell you, listen, honestly, growing up watching a little bit of anime and watching that, Initial D is just one of those that you can put on in the garage. I could turn some wrench and just.
And you got a nice soundtrack
Oh
to it.
yeah, listen, cue the Eurobeat, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was telling KT earlier, I was like, listen, man, cue the Eurobeat. I'm about to get prepped up for this. We're gonna have fun this episode. We're gonna go crazy, and you're just gonna see lights, and I'm gonna see my hat backwards. Like, I don't even wear hats, and we go from there. That's how fun it was, man. Just
So
having that soundtrack.
would you personally own an A86 with knowing all the cars in the world that you could
Uh,
own?
I think just because of the legendary status this car's been set at, it'd be a really cool car to keep around, and drive every now and then.
Yeah.
But it is outdated, right? There was
Right.
nothing in it. It was regular tack, regular everything. There wasn't any digital anything in it, and that's what cars were back when we were growing up. So I think I actually would like it. I actually wouldn't mind one. Now, would the 1.6 liter inside of it do great? Probably not for what I'm looking at, but for what the horsepower is at the speed it is, like, could
And
I
the
drift?
weight. Yeah.
Yeah, and the weight, could I drift like that? Absolutely not. No, could I try? Maybe. But remember, I told you this story. Initial D is how I wrecked my first car. I can't say I was drifting because this was a Ford Taurus at this point,
Okay.
and it was a front wheel drive. Let's just say I power slid into a pole and had to lie about it to my old man and how I got it done. But it's all good. I lived. We kept going for it. But man, the thrill, right, of power
Mhm.
sliding around that thing and seeing what it was is, you can't. When it rains and if you had a front wheel drive, you just pull that e brake and see what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, could you imagine back in the day if we had an 86 when we first
Oh,
got our first car?
I mean, I would love for it to be a car in my garage one day,
Mm-hmm.
maybe almost like a museum piece.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't drive it too often, but knowing that this is a legendary, iconic
The
car,
unicorn.
yes. So maybe one day, we'll see, but it's not super high on the list, but I respect that car and I love that car and it has a special place in my heart. So owning
Gotcha.
one would one day would would be cool.
Absolutely. I would love to pull up to a car made with an AE86. I think that would be one of my favorite things. The thing is, I have I'm kind of torn when it comes to keeping cars in garages as like a display piece because cars are
Mhm.
meant to be driven. And that's just how, I enjoy cars. So maybe that 1.6 and enjoying it and seeing how it actually, reacted and going, I can't drift this thing.
Yeah.
Learning really about that. I think that's the fun part, man. Man, I mean, we're talking about the A86, but you mentioned it. There were so many other cars in this. And I can't, we kind of brought it back around to this A86, this beautiful Terreno. And, what were some other cars in here that you really decided, like, after watching this, you were like, this is where I'm going. This is the direction
Yeah.
I'm taking.
So, I've always been a Mazda guy, so when I saw
Mm.
the FC3S RX-7
Yep,
on
yep.
screen for the first time, like, that did it right
Oh
there.
man, you're right. I
Such a beautiful car.
I'm not a rotary fan, and I should be, but because I just love cars in general. But the FC was such a beautiful ride, man. I
Yes.
can't say no to that. What about it really set you off? I mean, tell me a little bit more. What do you know the FC that was used in this thing?
Yeah, so it was driven by, Ryusuke Takahashi
Yep,
of the Akagi Red Suns.
yep,
His was a white one. It was around 89 to 90, probably in that year range, but it had the 1.3 liter 13B
yep.
rotary engine.
Absolutely.
Love it or hate it, but it was twin turbo, probably pushing out in stock form somewhere between 180 to 200 horsepower. Most definitely his was tuned, so he was probably pushing out around 300 horsepower. That car had your typical, front engine, rear wheel drive layout.
Absolutely.
Being a late '80s car, mid to late '80s car, it was also very lightweight, so
Gotcha.
probably guess maybe like 2,300 pounds.
Yeah.
But as you know, at around 300 horsepower and 2,300 pounds, even 2,500 pounds,
Yeah.
that's a world of fun.
Oh man, I mean, like you hit the gas, you spin tire. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
especially if you're at a stop or on a rainy day, that's definitely a blast. I think what I loved about that car, just like I think all of the in the Torino as well, like it's an FR layout. Like,
Yes.
it's got a nice shape to it. What I really love were just the lines and the hood scoop of this car. And I was like, what is that? I had to do research and figure it
Mhm.
out, look on forums, figure it out. And I think that's what I really enjoyed, like, when I saw one in person, I was like, "Oh, man, that's an FC." Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, that's
I
it's
love
got
the offset hood scoop.
mhm.
That was not very common, especially today. Everything today is so symmetrical,
Yes,
right? But that
yes.
offset hood scoop, I think it was to the right, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, I think you're right.
But, like, who makes an offset hood scoop, you know?
Well, and I think that was the intercooler, right?
Yes,
So,
exactly, it was a
yeah.
top-mounted
Yeah,
intercooler.
so it really, like, shocked me when I'm learning as I grew more to learn about cars, right? And you see that, you're like, "Whoa," like, that's really cool. You see this FC3 SRX-7, like, rocking the side mount hood or this, the hood mount to the side
Yeah.
and intercooler, and you're like, "Man, this is some cool engineering you see in this
And
stuff,"
it
right?
was that '80s aesthetic too, so it
Yeah.
had the pop-up headlights, which got carried into the '90s, but, a lot of people love the pop-up headlights, myself
Yes.
included.
Yeah, yeah, I can't hate on the pop-up headlights. Pop-up headlights are just they're a sign of the times, and they're some of the
Mhm.
best signs. I love seeing them.
It
You can't hate on them.
and Mazda just did weird things back then too. Rotary engines,
Yeah.
who who puts a rotary engine in a car?
Listen, they did it, and it worked out. Rotary engines are still around, the RX-8, so, did they fail? Were there a lot of engine swaps because of that? Absolutely, but do I hate it as much not to drive it? Man, I drive that car every day. If I
It's
had
just unique, right?
it
It's
is.
something about it, just like how we say, well, a V8 is unique today with
Yeah,
all the turbo fours and turbo sixes
yeah.
floating around, but a rotary engine, that is beyond unique.
Absolutely, and I think, like, even learning how to work on a rotary seals, things like that, like, I'm not as familiar with, I'll be honest, like, rotary is not something I would go into and be like, "Oh, man, I know how to do everything." No, absolutely not. That's the one motor where I have to take a step back and be like, "Hey, I got to relearn some motors with this," and I think that interests me. That really, like, maybe drive me to get a rotary. I don't know, I'm still looking for a car. Anybody looking to get one up, for the project car and go from there, but,
Just tag us at HeatSoaked if anyone has any ideas. Well, what else, man? Let's see. There was the FD and
Oh,
that
yeah, you
thing.
can't talk about the FC without talking about its, evolution, the
Yeah,
FD, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So
It's
tell me about the FD.
Oh man, let's see. They were brothers, right? So everyone knows, the Takahashi brothers. They were tearing up, they were the Akagi Red Sons. They were tearing up the roads. The FD 3S RX-7 was driven by Keisuke Takahashi of course, the Red Sons. He had a Series 6, and I think what was the paint? It was competition yellow
I
mica.
love that paint.
Man,
Yeah,
like I think like you would definitely get this car.
I would
This
get a
is
yellow
you
yellow
get a
car.
competition
Yeah.
yellow mica. This is a 1.3 13B. It's an REW rotary twin turbo. I think it was pushing out about 250 horsepower, if I can think. Yeah, about 250. I think they eventually had tuned it to over 300. Also an FR layout, very strangely enough. I think that car had such new lines for its year, and when you saw it, it was like, man, it's
It's a
just
showstopper.
man, in my experience in cars and people, like I've been in garages where like you see a red FD, and you're just like, man, that could pull up to a car meet, and just everyone has to circle around it.
Mhm.
Whether it's a two rotor, four rotor, people are doing crazy things to it. The FD in the FC, man, I just, even though I haven't really gained one yet, man, it makes me want a rotary motor. It makes me want a rotary just because of those two cars. I'll tell you what, man. You love it to death, though. That's one of
Oh,
your
yeah,
favorite cars, isn't it?
that's probably my dream car, honestly, I would probably say
Really?
it's my dream car. Yeah, an FD RX-7.
Well, gotcha.
But yeah, I the just the styling of the car, it's a beautiful car. It still has your flip-up headlights, which obviously nowadays they're not allowed to do anymore due to regulations and whatnot, but just it flowed with the clean lines of the car. And then
Gotcha.
from a performance standpoint, it's an upgraded version of the 13B that
Yeah.
was in the prior generation.
Yeah.
So pumped out a little more horsepower, not as nowhere near better in terms of reliability or fuel efficiency, but
Oh,
we don't care about that because we like fixing our cars anyways.
yeah, and I mean, why, just going back to the pop-up headlights, would the regulation change and say no, pop-up and down headlights? First of all, the regulations need to change. We need those back. All right. It's just the cars look
Yeah,
too
yeah.
good.
Screw the
Yeah.
pedestrians, whatever.
They should watch where they're going, honestly. Like there's
Yeah.
no, it's getting worse with the scooters, but the electric scooters are driving nuts. But if you don't see a beautiful FC or FD turn the corner, yeah, you got to teach your kids something else. Like that's
They sound great
oh,
too. Have you
absolutely.
ever been in a car behind one of those that have an exhaust or just
That's true.
either street ported or bridge ported?
Oh
They're
yeah.
ridiculous
Well, you
sounding.
you knew the sound of a rotary motor turning anywhere around you. Like you could hear it driving away as soon as you're like starting it up, cold starts. I just the sound of it, even if you heard it because of Initial D. It showed
Mhm,
as soon as he started the car. My thought runs back to the first race in the FD, for Keisuke racing Takumi down it, and he
mhm.
loses, and the shock, and we're all like, what just happened? This is the world. The world has turned upside down for us. We're
Yeah.
we're in this crazy layout, and I think stuff like that makes you rethink on, is it the power or is it the driver? You know that was very interesting to me. That made me realize some more control is very interesting when it comes to cars.
Yeah, and the evolution of the characters in that anime as well, right?
Absolutely.
They're racing one another, they're gaining skills. Eventually, there's Project D where
Mm-hmm.
Ryusuke, he recruits both Takumi and his brother Keisuke,
Yep.
and he's essentially training them,
Mm-hmm.
and he's purposely taking them to race all these other drivers
Yeah.
around Japan essentially at these unfamiliar courses,
Mm-hmm.
and they're racing a ton of other different style cars, but he's intentionally doing it to build certain skill sets within both, Takumi and Keisuke.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's cool is like, so when like in the training arcs that we see them like really start to get down to the details. They start talking to mechanics. They start talking to like, hey, we have to detune we need to adjust this. Front strut needs to be tightened in. We need to, go different way with this direction. I'm not getting the cornering right. And then we see, like, for example, very first season, Takami's like training arc.
Mhm.
His rule, of course, everyone knows the crazy, crazy training he had to do. A cup of water in the cup holder
Yes.
while delivering tofu was the craziest thing ever. I don't know if anyone else had a cup of water driving around, but if you could get rid of that with potholes and never see a drop change, that is the crazy. He had to learn the force, had to hit all the movements, and he had it. It was the craziest thing to see, like when
It
you
was
saw him.
so fun watching his evolution
Yeah,
as a character and as a driver. As you remember when that whole anime started, he didn't even know what his car was. He was talking to his friends, and his friends were like, "We want AE86, like, we need to get that car," and he's like, I don't know, I
He's
don't
like,
care."
"I drive this piece of crap my
Yeah.
dad, Boonta gave me," and he's like, "Oh, I just gotta sorry guys, I can't go today. I gotta do this, run real quick." And they're like, "Oh, how long does it take you to do that?" And he's like about 40 minutes. And they were like, "What?" Like
Yeah.
the pause in that, and like after we've seen it, and the realization that it really does not take 40 minutes to make that drive is hilarious. Like you
Well,
just see the reaction. I think the whole storyline is fantastic, and it's like it's a growing up anime as
it
well.
really does kinda mirror what a lot of our stories are,
Yeah,
as real life car guys.
yeah,
You start out as someone who's maybe not really interested in cars, and something triggers that interest. For him, it's racing and
absolutely.
drifting and driving, essentially, that competitive fire in him. But as you progress into the anime, he learns about cars, and the other characters are, like, shocked. They're like, "Who is this guy? This is not the Takumi that we knew a year ago." Like, Takumi's, like, spitting out facts about suspension, tuning, and shift points, and,
Yeah,
all of that stuff, and that's kinda like how it is in real life too. We all start somewhere, right?
yeah,
And we all start at a point where we don't know anything, but with enough passion for something, you find out about it, you learn about it,
yeah,
and that's what it's so fun watching that for him. He's going through that evolution, and you
yeah.
kinda think back to yourself, and you're like, "Man, like, I kinda went through that too." Maybe
Yeah.
not the same way, I'm
No,
not
no, I wasn't.
drifting
Yeah.
down some mountains pass,
Listen,
but
after you wreck a car, you stop doing that. Like,
yeah, but it really does, right? It mirrors how a lot of car guys and girls evolve.
yeah. Yeah, no, it takes it, and you're right. Like watching the evolution, watching the training arc, learning a little bit about him, but it's the gateway effect, right? This anime gave us the curiosity about a different kind of driving we haven't seen before. A curiosity led to like, hey, more forums. Let's read this in magazine, or like you knew somebody who knew a guy that knew a curved road and would take you out and had a rear wheel drive like a Nissan. Would take you out, start spinning some tire a little bit, maybe taught you a little control, how to gain it back. It's a rabbit hole, right? There was real cars. There was real roads in Japan that were called this. It was real skill that had to be involved in that. It didn't. I think the good thing is that like it wasn't like all the wrecks are okay. Initial D didn't glamorize recklessness. It glorified. There's a good word for discipline in driving. It,
Right.
it showed you like, hey, we're not trying to wreck cars. Not. I don't think anybody in real life is trying to wreck it. It's we're trying to drive as fast through these mountains as possible, being as accurate as possible. And I think that came over to America because of Initial D. And like bringing it to cars today, cars are now like faster, heavier, they're safer, but the lesson really hasn't changed. We learn our fundamentals, right? You could watch Initial D and maybe learn a thing or two and put it in your driving. Now, is it always real? Yeah, they did it pretty good, but you have your own car. You have to respect the machine, and you got to earn that speed. That's how it at least went through for me. That was
Yeah.
that was the best thing about it.
Yeah, for sure. I love watching that anime. I'm rewatching it right now.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, and it brings back the same memories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, man, and of course, like you already know my favorite cars are the Nissan Skylines.
Yes.
Like I think the one of my favorite races when he was versing that R32 GTR. It was a 94. It's an RB26 twin turbo, all black. It was an all-wheel drive. It had the technology, it had the grip, it had that intimidation factor. It was the fastest thing on the road, and I think the driver was Takeshi. I can't remember his last name, but that's fine. We'll move on to the next one. But that car represented like brute force in the straightaways. It showed how power without control can still lose, and how Takumi overcame that barrier in that training arc. It was awesome. It
Yeah,
was great.
that was a crazy matchup.
Yeah.
If you were to tell anybody without mentioning Initial D, if you were just to say there's an A86 going against an R32, everyone would say, what is this matchup? This
Absolutely.
R32 will eat its lunch and more than that.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't even blink. It would just it would keep moving through it. It would just I mean in the straightaways in the anime, it's pulling away from it. In the curves, the A86 had to catch up, and we were like, how is this possible? Like what he and the craziest thing is Takumi wasn't trying to be a hero. He just started developing this love for cars and racing, and
Mhm.
started delving into it. And it was like I said, the A86 wasn't the fastest, but it was all about technique, and that's why this anime works so well. It taught us all about that factor, and that's what I loved. And for a lot of us, man, Initial D wasn't entertainment. It was a gateway drug.
Oh,
A
yeah.
gateway drug, man. That's
So
exactly how it
so
goes.
let's talk a little more about the R32 because I know that's personally one of your favorite
Oh
cars.
man, it
So
is.
what about that car?
Man, it's just how aggressive that car is. It's Nissan did everything right with the Skyline. And everyone knows that, of course, the Skyline had everything, but it was the aggressive lines in the 90s, like all-wheel drive, a V6 twin turbo, like it was the owner of the road anywhere it went.
And this particular generation won a lot of races too, I remember.
Yeah, yeah, it was, I think this, specific one, the R33, no, excuse me, R32, was one of the highest ranking all time race car wins,
Mhm.
and that was time attack. That was, of course, not drifting, the all-wheel drive faction, but they put it into, the actual projects. They put it into race scenes and
Mhm.
actual races, and it was just taking over. It was making everything look like it had a four-cylinder, it had a
Yeah, it
1.6.
wasn't just a show car.
No,
It
it was
actually, yeah,
exactly.
had to go with it.
Exactly. It wasn't just a show car. It had everything that it needed, and it was such a powerful vehicle that people often underestimate it. If you had an R32 back in the 90s, you were the man. But guess what? America never got it. And that's what I think well, it goes back to that, analogy. It's like if you can't have it, it makes you want it more.
Oh, yeah.
And always seeing these cars grow up, the R32, the R33, the R34, even to our day, before we got the R35 Skyline over in the States that was available for sale. Like, we're waiting for that barrier to drop so we
Mhm.
can start purchasing that. And as soon as that one dropped, there are so many purchases. Those cars now, if you find an R32 like spec, and it's worth what, like 80 to $100,000. Like,
Yeah.
we're saying R32, and it's crazy. It's a 94 car. You're paying that much, but you know what, it's probably worth it. Would I mortgage my house for it? Yes, absolutely. If my wife wouldn't kill me, I would absolutely do
Hey,
that.
everything you
Yeah.
said, there's a reason why it's called Godzilla.
Oh, dude, Godzilla number one. R34 is my favorite car in the world. But do I respect the R33 and the R32? Absolutely. It's just one of those that we will always have the respect for. And I think that's another thing why Initial D caught my attention. It brought me to that, knowledge base. It brought me to really focus on, oh, what do I really enjoy? And I really enjoyed that. That was part of the style that I enjoyed. Yes, it is my favorite. Absolutely. Something, a rear wheel drive, light chassis. That's why I bought my 836 a while back. It had the balance, it had the i6, it had, the rear wheel drive, it had everything I was doing. But, was it the R34? No. But was it great? Absolutely. I loved it, man. I loved it.
Personally, I love the R33. That's my favorite. I
It
know it's like the redheaded stepchild between the like all three of them,
I
but
gotcha.
but I just love the lines of the R33. A little more bubbly, if you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
say,
it
but
is. Yeah.
it's I feel it's more cohesive.
I can agree with that. I think it's all about preference, and like I respect the fact that you like the R33, and I love the R34. You know, many guys and girls love these cars for what it is, and at the end of the day, if you have one, you know that it's just some of the best equipment Nissan ever put down on the
Yeah,
pavement.
especially in America, mad respect because like Chris said, you can't get that car here in America. They didn't make it for the
That's
American
correct.
market.
That's
So
correct.
the people that own that car went out of their way to get it imported in, to find it, all of that. So there's definitely a love for that car. You don't just end up with an R32 or an R33 or an R34.
Yep. When we got hit with the 25-year import rule, like we couldn't wait to be old enough to order these cars. And I will tell you that I will spend every last red cent that I own to get an R34 just because of it. And that would be the best thing ever. So that's exactly where we're going for there.
All right, so talking about the cars, Chris, the big thing in Initial D, really, besides the cars, was the actual racing and drifting in that show. So
Oh
let's talk a little
man.
more about that.
We're talking about drifting now. This is where I love it, and this is where I start getting into it. So we're not talking about the actual definition of drifting, right? Being carried by air current of water or air or anything like that. We're actually talking about turning a car sideways down the Fujiwara freeway. No, we're talking about turning a car sideways when it's meant to go straight. Rear wheel drive, we're talking about oversteer, understeer, we're talking about the fun of spinning tires, and that's what I love, man. Drifting in this anime, I think, had some of the most technical understandings. Now at the end of the day, it wasn't is animation, so it was, something written down, but they had so many things right. Some were wrong, right? We understand that, but drifting, the love of drifting. What's the? I mean, do you remember the first time you lost control of the back end of a car?
Yeah, well, drifting is basically just sliding,
That's
right?
basically
So
what
it's
it
just
is.
it's a controlled slide,
Okay,
really.
yeah,
A
that's a great way to put it.
yes. but but how do you drift?
Man, all right. So how do you drift? Man, there's a lot of different ways. So power steering, as we know, is usually power sliding, as you know, and let me correct that, is usually front wheel cars that pull the e-brake to spin the back end of their vehicles around. Drifting, on the other hand, is using the control of the vehicle to turn a vehicle sideways in a controlled spin to use that spin to turn corners. So usually a rear wheel drive car of any make or model has to either spin tires enough, usually by dropping a gear, and then once you use the brakes, the downshift that you use, then the e-brakes. Of course, there's different e-brakes for actual cars. Then there's an e-brake for drifting. So
Mhm.
please, people, if you are pulling your e-brake and you don't know how to drift, understand that e-brake usually stays there and you will stop in the middle of a road.
So it's essentially breaking traction and then regaining traction after that.
Absolutely, that's exactly what drifting is. Drifting is the art of losing traction in the right direction.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I love the most about it. It's downshifting, high revving, dropping the clutch, turning the wheel the opposite way so you get that force.
It's typically inducing
That's
oversteer.
exactly. It's inducing oversteer, avoiding understeer, making sure your car direction is pointed, and then of course rotating the tires to the direction you're going. Small adjustments, but at the same time, you also want those back tires continuously spin. So it's low gear, high rev, back tires spinning.
Just enough traction to hold you and keep you where you wanna go.
Absolutely. Now, drifting is not for everyone, but we have sports now for it. We have Formula Drift.
Oh,
We
yeah,
see one of
and
our
they come here to Orlando
They're
too.
coming to Orlando. We're thinking about going. That might be a fun little thing for us. It might
Yeah.
see us heat soaked, all right, at Formula Drift. That'd be awesome. But that things like that, you gotta enjoy it. There's an art of how much power a car has to put down. There's the braking. You have to have either you gotta have a different slave cylinder, a separate brake. You want it pressurized if you want the control. It all boils down to tuning tires. But at the end of the day, just like Initial D taught us, it's all about form. It's all about
Yeah.
that training. It's all about learning how to spin those tires the right way. Where am I going to drop a gear? It's all about those small little increments of movement in the steering wheel and the throttle simultaneously while moving through those either curves or corners and everything like that.
Yeah, it's really fun. If you guys haven't tried it, we urge you to, but obviously in a safe and controlled
Not in a front
environment.
wheel drive and not in your dad's car. You need to do this in your own vehicle. Make sure it's rear wheel drive and do this safely. I think the rules say on YouTube, yes. Please do this on a supervised track, not in a parking lot. This is what I have to say. Just letting you know. All right. Please do this supervised under professional guidance. Do not do this on your own on the streets of Florida, please, or anywhere else.
So just to wrap it up, Initial D, we love Initial D, you and I both.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
know we are speaking for a lot of people, and then for the people who do not know anything about Initial D,
Absolutely.
we urge you to check it out. It's actually free on YouTube. You can watch like the entire series on YouTube
Yeah.
for free. And if you're a car guy or a car girl, you're gonna love it.
I mean, you don't have to, but you will understand it. And I will tell you, the love of Initial D comes throughout with all the cars and all of the learning that you do. And honestly, the story is just told phenomenally. It's one of those things that, like I said, KT's rewatching it. I can rewatch it anytime. And we just urge you guys, just check out Initial D. It's going to be one of your best decisions. You'll have some fun with it, learn some stuff about cars, see some cars that you love in any way, shape, or form, and you get a good story
It
told.
really does influence the culture that
Absolutely.
that particular era and today, right? We're talking about it today, but that anime, that manga came out what, 25, 30 years ago?
Oh man, the first stage of Initial D came out in 1990. I'm sorry, the the manga series came out in 95. Man, I mean this thing came out. If you're watching Initial D, let's see, the weekly show that was before Shonen Jump and everything like that. So late 90s to early 2000s. Exactly what Heat Soaked is about.
Yeah, it inspired a lot of people, a lot of cultural respect. People are into drifting because of that anime. Like we mentioned, the AE86, that car, that
Absolutely.
anime did it for that car.
Man, there's Reddit forums about this. There was forums back then about it.
We have T-shirts
There's
related
I
to
would get
Initial
Initial
D.
D tattooed on me. And honestly, if we ever start doing or Heat Soak starts getting into drifting, we have to import something of Initial D in there. We gotta have some fun with that. So
Yeah, for sure.
that would be, well, I don't know. We can call it Initial H for all I care. But man, guys, if you haven't seen it, yeah, once again, I wanted to thank everybody for watching or listening. If you haven't seen Initial D, take some time to check it out. It's something we love, something we want to share. It's all about the cars specifically in it, the technical aspects of it, the influence, of course, my dumbass in the Rex.
Yeah, I
And
mean, let us know what your favorite cars are from that
yeah,
anime.
oh,
There's
absolutely.
so many cars there. Right?
There's
We only touched 4 of them.
Yeah, I know. Like we could spend this whole episode talking just about the cars in Initial D. But guys, put it in the comments, subscribe, like us, give us some feedback. Special shout out to anybody listening. We wanted to ask, if you guys like stuff like this, please continue to let us know. If you want us to talk about something else that comes to anime, racing, as long as it's car culture, just please. This is the Initial D or the gateway drug into drifting.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us. HeatSoaked FL,
Heat Soaked FL.
social media.
Gotcha.
Thank you for listening to us
I'm
on
Cris.
podcast,
This
YouTube.
is KT, podcast, YouTube. Let us know, guys. Hey, we do check those comments out sometimes. I'm just kidding. We check those comments out. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about or some feedback you want to give us a heads up, man. We want to make this work. We want to make this a fun thing for everybody to listen to, especially while you're wrenching on some cars, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Peace out.
Later.